It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Hello, everybody. I'm Ernie Johnson, welcoming you to the NBA on 2K Sports. Excited, thrilled to be here with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. I'm so lucky. Tonight, we'll be watching the Orlando Magic playing against the Charlotte Hornets. And for Charlotte, they split the season series against these guys last season, 2 games apiece. Should be a good one tonight. And the topic here, prior to tip-off, so many teams in the league going up-tempo these days. Kenny, as a player, did you like that style? I'm assuming you had to love it.
Because the one thing about playing up-tempo, Ernie, it brings you back to the roots of the game, why you started playing. If you ever go to a pickup game, you ever go to a park game, no one's stopping play and calling plays. They're going up and down. The big fella Shaq, when he first came into the league, the first thing I saw was him grab the ball coast to coast in the All-American game. That's what players want to do, and people
You know, that was a great example, Kenny, but towards the end of my career and most of my career, I was honestly more of a half-court player. I was pretty fast for my size, but my strength was my biggest edge. In the half-court,
the starting lineup for the visiting Charlotte Hornets. At power, half the court, at 6'3" number 4.
The Hornets coming to an Eastern Conference contest in this game. Thrilled to be back in Orlando. The Magic ready for that home court advantage. And, of course, Ilyasova. Team moving on here without him.
Kevin, I thought he was really an important player for them, undervalued and not given the credit he deserved. That's not to say the trade was a mistake, but I think they'll miss him more than you might expect.
You know, chemistry-wise, I agree with you, Clark, because he was a glue guy. You know, he's a guy that kind of held things together for them in a few areas and not having used to.
Our courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and on the court for the Hornets. Kid Gilchrist and Williams. Walker is out there. And it's Jefferson in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. Now here's Gordon, following the miss by Kemba Walker. Shot clock at 3. The 3. And Nikola Vucevic is going to pick up the foul. That is his first foul of the game. Here's Batum trying to claw his way back after a terrible showing in that loss to Boston. The Orlando Magic didn't make the playoffs last year for the 3rd consecutive season, Greg. They knew it wasn't a realistic goal for them.
Yeah, and last season wasn't really about making the postseason, Kevin, for this group. It's soon that will have to be the goal, as patience will wear thin within that fan base.
And so the Charlotte Hornets get the first points of the ball game. And Vucevic kicks to Oladipo. 1 up, 1 down, 2 points with his first shot this game.
Hard to get that one off with the size difference there. That makes it a tough individual matchup for him, especially down low.
Well, took on the big guys going in there and challenging them like he did. But, boy, that was a nice job.
Now, here's Oladipo, following the miss by Kemba Walker. Payton kicks to Oladipo. Offline with his 3. Hornets have gone 1 of 3 from the field to start this one so far. Now go to Doris Burke, who had a chance to talk with head coach Steve Clifford.
He talked a little bit about their defensive mindset, saying essentially that they're willing to sacrifice a little bit of space on the interior if it allows them to stay tight on their outside shooters. He said, listen, it's no secret they like to attack you from long range. That's what we're looking to stop tonight.
Doris, thank you. Obviously, Clark, the 3 ball is a big concern for any defense.
Well, yeah, it is, Kevin, but the upside is you're not getting broken down in the lane and you're not giving them free throws, but you still have to challenge those shots.
Well, guys, no secret that Al Jefferson has never been known for his defense. Clark, mostly viewed as an offensive player.
Yeah, he really is strong down in the low post, but last season, Jefferson went out of his way to change that no defense perception of it.
And he's good on the second.
And you know, it's what spurred Jefferson to kind of rededicate to defense when he realized teams would pick on him and make him the focal point of their attack.
Here's Oladipo, and he banks in the layup.
How about how he sets his man up there, runs him right into the screen, and then gets the basket.
Batum passes to Walker. And here in the first, approaching 3 minutes played, battles through traffic and lays it in.
And for Jefferson and his defense, players know when they are being targeted. So good for Big Al to do something about it.
Peyton dishes to Parsons. On its way from Oladipo for two. Another miss by Oladipo.
The defense there got away with a major lapse.
There's 57 seconds left here in the opening quarter. Walker goes in. Another shot, and it's Jefferson laying it in.
Defensively, that possession better not start a trend because they just handed him 2 points.
Peyton against Walker. Peyton kicks to Oladipo. Shoots a fader. Orlando gets it back. And slam dunk by Vucevic.
And guys, isn't it great to see a player who works that hard on the glass at both ends?
Well said, G. That's the way he has built, you know, his reputation. Clark grinding away, 100% effort all the time.
And you know, Kevin, all that effort pays off. How many of those spectacular putback jams do we see from this guy? A bunch.
Excellent work there in transition.
Yeah, I think it's always better to go early in transition, to attack when it's there, because oftentimes you can beat the defense down the floor.
And they now lead as the free throw drops for him. Here's Lamb. Two on the clock. Misses at the rim. So at the end of 1 quarter of play, still a close game. Magic lead by 1. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be back in just a moment.
Ladies and gentlemen, go!
Up to this point, a closely contested game as we start the second quarter. And from what we've seen from Orlando, what do you guys see?
I tell you what, defensively, they have been in tune with one another, as intense as I've seen.
Yeah, nice job helping out on the rotations and drives, doing really good work at the defensive end.
Smith is out there with Aaron Gordon. Then it's Evan Fournier. Then there's Andrew Nicholson. And it's Jennings in at the point guard position. That's the group starting the second quarter for the Magic.
Incredible timing on the alley-oop.
He absolutely hammered it down.
And guys, mark that play right there, because that could be the one that leads to a surge to break this thing wide open.
Now here's Lynn. Zeller passes to Lee. Just 5 on the clock. Here's Lynn. And he hits it just before the shot clock expires.
And one thing about Jeremy Lin, he sets the pace. A smart guy, good instincts. He simply knows when to slow it down and when to turn it up.
Here's Nicholson. Looking for his first basket still in this one. The shot's good from Fournier.
Man, their offense is really cranked up in the second quarter.
And their field goal percentage shows that, over 60 now. Tough to beat them when they shoot it like that.
Now here's Lynn. Last time out he had 14 points. Kaminsky sets the pick for Lynn, and he throws it down hard with one hand.
And Kevin, who says a point guard should look to pass first? I mean, not when you can finish like this fella.
Well, Clark, he wasn't going to give that opportunity up to a teammate.
Well, you know, Kevin, that's one he'll always take himself, and he should. I mean, you can't pass up that kind of opportunity or fun.
Now here's Kaminsky, following the miss by Jennings. Kaminsky sets the pick for Lynn.
2 minutes left.
Out to the right wing.
Quarter.
Chance there to take the lead, missing. Magic have gone 2 of 3 from the field here to open the second quarter. Fournier dishes to Jennings. 1:43 left in the first half of basketball. Nicholson. And no good as it rattles out. One issue for Charlotte last year was getting easy buckets, easy points. Offense could be an uphill battle for them during various stretches of their games and season.
And Kevin, part of that is their ball movement. They were right near the bottom of the league in points off of assists.
Clock at 4. Lynn, that's a two-pointer. Here's Zeller, and that's good. A nice job in the glass as they pick up 2 on the second effort.
Really nice job to convert the putback opportunity there. I mean, he stayed with that play from start to finish. That's something we say about him a lot.
Well, you look at the Hornets, and when a team struggles offensively as they did, you're going to have low assist totals. It makes sense when they had that injury issue at the point guard spot last year. Over these last 10 games on the Magic schedule, this is how they stack up right here. Second in fewest turnovers per game, 4th in blocks, and they're in the top 10 in opponent field goal percentage. That's pretty good company. It points out the fact that they do prioritize the defensive end.
And you gotta love how well they safeguard their offensive possessions. You see the ranking, 2nd fewest turnovers committed, terrific ball handling, and smart passing. And the Hornets did have injury trouble at the point guard spot, which explains some of their assist issues, but also they have a combination of scoring-minded point guards.
Now here's Parsons. A 24-point outing in their last game against Brooklyn. Walker against Payton. The teardrop falls in. Payton's got 5 points so far.
You know, he didn't need to make the layup complicated. I mean, it's not a trick shot contest, but he decided to go for a little extra flavor on that one.
Here's Kid Gilchrist. He's been patient so far, nothing yet on the scoreboard. Batum wide open, he fires. Again, the Hornets score.
And after that ragged first quarter, they're getting some momentum, some confidence. Nice flow.
Yeah, and, you know, the game of basketball, as you well know, Greg and guys, is a game of runs. So their offense is starting to move in a positive direction now. Nice upswing here.
And the first half comes to a close. We've got a close game going on here. Hornets ahead, leading by 3. And don't go away. After the break, we'll see you right back here for the start of the third quarter.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, everybody. Ernie Johnson here, joined by Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. We welcome you to the halftime show on 2K Sports. The first quarter for the Hornets was fairly even. Some good action during the period, as it was just a 1-point game at the end of. And that's it for halftime, as the second half is just a.
Well, both sides have assessed what they need to do over the break in halftime. We'll see now if one can pull out a way here in the third. You got to like what Nicholas Batum has done in this game.
Yeah, you just love it when the decision-making is as good as it was there in that first half. Didn't force anything.
Guys, I think here in the second half, though, they may want him to be a little more assertive. Start hunting more for his shot, even the tough one.
Setting the floor for the Hornets. Williams down low with Jefferson. Batum is out there with Kemba Walker. And it's Kid Gilchrist in at the 3 slot. And Kemba Walker is going to pick up the foul. That's foul number 2 for him. It's Oladipo on the wing, defended by Batum, and the shot is good. The Hornet lead has been cut to just 1 point on the basket from Vucevic.
Yeah, it's just a smart shot, taking advantage of the mismatch.
Well, with a stroke like that and the height advantage as well, mid-range J is almost a gimme.
Now here's Walker. He's been putting up the points on a very steady basis, averaging around 17.5 points a game. Just 5 to shoot. No good. Great D that time from Peyton. And Victor Oladipo, after a solid rookie campaign, really took it up a notch last season, even after missing Clark the first 9 games with that facial fracture.
I love this kid's gravitas. I mean, he's got a presence about him. His percentages improved across the board, field goal, 3-point free throws. And I like his work ethic and his confidence.
And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
In talking about Victor Oladipo's improvement, a lot of it has to do with his work ethic. Also his pregame film study, something his college coach absolutely raved about. And all of that showed up for him big time last season.
And he knocks down the first one.
And you know, back to Oladipo, we always talk about 5-star phenoms coming out of high school. He was just a 3-star guy. He's had to work for everything he's gotten, and I think that served him well. He's got a hunger and drive that you can't manufacture.
Here's what Orlando's going with right now. Smith checked in for Chandler Parsons. Evan Fournier comes in for Oladipo. And it's Watson in for Peyton. Now here is Smith. Still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him. Pass to Fournier. Let's go. It's hauled in by Spencer Hawes.
He's got to be disappointed with himself on that one. He has got to knock those down.
The dish to Lee. Walker is screen on Vucevic. And Kid Gilchrist kicks to Williams. Charlotte again missing. The Magic trail by 3. Watson with it. Picked up by Kid Gilchrist. Smith against Lee. Smith the pass to Watson. Magic moving the ball around. Vucevic setting the pick for Smith. The Magic need to get a shot off here. Watson for 3. No good. And Charlotte will go the other way with it. They couldn't put the pieces together, losing that last matchup with Boston.
Yeah, they lost the momentum, and it's a bit surprising that that one got away from them, because for long stretches, they were the better team.
Well, if you only looked at the stat sheet, you'd have a hard time figuring out how they lost it. I mean, it was a case of a few small things, some of the intangibles that didn't go their way in the end.
When you think of Kid Gilchrist, one thing that comes to mind is intangibles. He has a desire and intensity and a will to win that elevates him to elite status.
Yeah, you know, he never will be a great shooter, and he's still working on his jump shot. But the intangibles, you talked about it, you add heart and tenacity to that. Every team wants a guy like that.
And now let's have a look at the NBA's top snipers, shooting guards with the highest percentage from three-point territory over the last month. Number 1, Victor Oladipo. Second is J.R. Smith.
You don't have to be a great shooter to play 2 guard, but it does help. And pretty much all of these guys fit into that great category.
Yeah, that's safe to say. I mean, these guys don't know the meaning of cold streaks. They're either hot, red hot, or sizzling. Those are the kind of shooters they are from downtown.
Here's Vucevic. He sinks the 11-footer. Vucevic has got his 3rd bucket of the night.
And talking about Kid Gilchrist, yes, he's worked to fix his shooting form last season, but the real improvement was made on the boards. He averaged 7.5 rebounds a game in only 29 minutes of play. That is outstanding.
Good. Daniels has got the lead up to 5 now for the Hornets.
Easy little jumper for him right there, guys.
Watson kicks to Vucevic. Passes it to Fournier. There's the pick. And there's the feed to Nicholson. Seller grabs the board.
And for Kid Gilchrist, he was accustomed to so much winning in high school, college, international competition. He's had a rough first 3 years in the NBA, making the playoffs only once in that time. But he's a real warrior, so that has to be killing him inside. You know, of the last 6 baskets, 5 have come on the interior. This is major smash mouth basketball, guys.
It's all about imposing your will offensively, getting exactly the kind of looks their coach drew up.
3 for Troy Daniels.
And here at the end of the third quarter, it's a double-digit ball game. Hornets lead by 10. And we'll have the start of the fourth quarter for you as soon as we get back from this short break. Hello and thanks for joining us, folks. The fourth quarter of play should begin momentarily. The backcourt is Payton and Oladipo. Chandler Parsons out there with Vucevic, and it's Hazonia in at the three. That's who's out there for Orlando.
And really no choice but to lunge for that pass to make sure it didn't get through.
Yeah, and that was important. Probably would have been a quick 2 points if he doesn't get a hand on it and knock it out of bounds.
Now here's Payton. Oladipo dishes to Vucevic, and the basket good.
Yeah, heard the whistle and then kept his focus and able to still knock it down.
And Greg, to be able to take the bump like that and maintain control, that's not easy to do. I know you're kind of a little fella, but I was a big guy when I played, so I know how difficult that is. That was impressive.
I see.
Here's Kid Gilchrist. And Jefferson, here we go. That's good.
They are just killing them on the interior.
Yeah, you can't say that with enough emphasis. I mean, the defenders are just not being aggressive enough down low. You got to play with some physicality in the paint.
Vucevic the pass to Oladipo. Jefferson against Vucevic. Vucevic a screen on Batum. 6 to shoot. Oladipo. And he overshot that one, missing. Hornets leading by 9. Outside, Walker. Banked in off the glass.
And there's a pattern starting to take shape here. They're working it inside and getting good shots from close range.
Well, I agree with you. 4 of their last 5 baskets have been exactly of that variety.
Picked by Vucevic. Oladipo goes in. He dishes it to Vucevic. That one is good. He's only missed 1 shot of his 6 taken on the floor.
An extremely efficient and productive game for him. But again, he's not going to be able to do it all by himself.
Doris Burke has an update for us. Doris?
I was able to listen in on what Steve Clifford was going over with his team. He told the players, let's put our foot on them and keep them down. We've got them exactly where we want them. I want to see you guys slow the pace, use the clock, and stay away from any silly fouls.
Aaron Gordon, he's checking in for Orlando. Jefferson's shot is off.
Usually if he gets to the rim, he's converting it into points. But the defense stood tall there.
And so he draws the foul on the shot, a trip to the line to shoot 2.
And really the defense fouling there to prevent the layup, but that's exactly what you need to do.
It is. I mean, no reason to back off and give him the layup. I mean, much better off making him go to the line.
So he makes 1 of 2 as the second one misses. Walker against Payton.
2 minutes, less than 2 minutes remaining.
Left side, Walker. To the middle, here's Jefferson. Great D that time from Vucevic.
Well, he gets it in close, but you have to credit that stifling defense for forcing the miss.
Exactly, Greg. I mean, defense like that really increases the degree of difficulty on that shot by a large amount. They've done their part here to run down a lot of missed shots. A solid rebounding effort.
Yeah, energy has been the difference, and they're fighting for every loose ball and giving as good as they get on the inside.
Now, here's Walker. After the miss from Vucevic, screen by Jefferson. Off the screen, and Vucevic pulls it down. Vucevic has got his 3rd rebound on the night. That's good. And that's now 7 points for Victor Oladipo.
And he can time his passes so perfectly. Wow, what an assist.
Payton against Walker. Now here's Kid Gilchrist, guarded closely.
And typically he has the touch to finish when he's in tight, but not sure on that possession.
Oladipo with the ball. Puts one up from 19. Hits the front of the rim and out.
And if the shot's not there, you've got to understand that. Move the basketball.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm not quite sure what his mindset or what he was thinking there. I mean, that was just a terrible shot.
Now here's Walker. Baiting on the double team. And so they foul intentionally. First free throw is good, and that makes it a 7-point lead. Second one is good, hitting both at the line, and it's an 8-point game. There's 25 seconds left in the fourth. Gordon kicks to Parsons. This one for three. Once again off the mark, Orlando. Outside, Walker. So it's Charlotte picking up the win.
Well, gentlemen.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Thank you, Kevin. And now we get a chance to present our Jordan Player of the Game, Kemba Walker. He delivered quite a star performance. Not uncommon, as we've seen him have this sort of terrific night many times.
Overall, just a rock-solid outing.
And folks, that's it for us. Thank you for tuning in. Always a pleasure. For Kenny the Jet Smith, for Shaquille O'Neal, this is Ernie Johnson. Have a great night.